Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unlocking what I think is absolutely one of the most fascinating concepts in economics and business scaling. We're going to look closely at the economic theory of returns to a factor. If you've ever wondered how scaling a business actually works on a practical level, how adding just a tiny bit of input can sometimes yield a massive explosion in output, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to break down the exact mechanics of this phenomenon.
Okay, let's dive right into this. It all starts with a simple but honestly profound question. Why does hiring one more person sometimes triple your output? In our standard linear way of thinking, we usually assume, hey, if one person produces 10 units, two people will produce 20 units, right? But in the real world of production, this math gets delightfully broken. We actually experience these incredible exponential jumps in productivity where 1 plus 1 suddenly equals 5. To understand why this happens, we need to set up a quick thought experiment.
I want you to imagine a large factory floor. On this entire sprawling floor, there is just one solitary laborer. This worker represents what economists call our variable factor. In the short run of business production, some inputs can be changed easily, like the number of people you hire for a shift. That's your variable factor. So just picture this single worker standing alone, ready for a hard day of work. Now contrast that single worker with their environment. Surrounding them are four massive, highly technical machines. These machines represent our fixed factors. In the short run, you just can't easily change the amount of plant and equipment you have. It's fixed. So we have an extreme mismatch here. We have a tiny amount of our variable factor, one worker, trying to operate a comparatively huge amount of our fixed factor, four machines. Think about the sheer physical impossibility of utilizing this setup efficiently alone. Our solitary worker can literally only operate one machine at any given time. The other three, they're just sitting there, completely idle and unproductive. This frustrating factory floor dilemma perfectly illustrates a concept called increasing returns to a factor. By definition, this is a situation where each additional unit of a variable factor, like, say, hiring an extra worker, adds more and more to your total output. Basically, it means your marginal product, which is the extra output you gain from one additional unit of input, is actually increasing as you add more of it. It is literally the absolute dream scenario for a business owner. But what does this actually look like on paper?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the graph in the upper panel showing the total product curve, labeled TP. Focus your eyes specifically on stage 1, right up to the point labeled M, which is the point of inflection. Do you see how the total product curve just shoots upward at an increasing rate? It's a steep, aggressive climb. This visualizes exactly what happens when you start adding workers to our factory floor. Your total returns are accelerating. But there are two exact, logical causes for why this explosive stage 1 growth happens. Let's uncover them.
This brings us to the first exact cause of this massive output spike. Catalyst 1, the fuller utilization of fixed factors. Remember our lonely worker and the three idle machines? That scenario is highly inefficient because of what's known as the indivisibility problem. Fixed factors, like our massive factory machines, are generally indivisible. You literally cannot cut a machine in half to suit your single worker. You can't just run 25% of a stamping press. Because you're forced to have these large, indivisible fixed factors, you strictly require a baseline amount of labor just to make optimum use of the equipment you've already paid for. The solution to this indivisibility problem is actually super simple. Add more labor. When we add worker number 2 and then worker number 3, we aren't buying new machines. We're simply utilizing the fixed factors we already have much better. The previously idle machines are finally up and running. Because those machines are now actually contributing to production instead of just gathering dust, the overall output skyrockets far beyond what those new workers could produce on their own without the machinery.
Let's move to Catalyst 2, the division of labor, and see how this builds to create our second major reason for increasing returns.
This second catalyst isn't just about the machines anymore. It's about human efficiency. Your workers actually become better at their jobs simply because there are more of them. Here's how that happens. Step 1, you add more variable workers to the floor. Step 2, because you now have a team, the manager doesn't have to force everyone to be a generalist. They can split up specific tasks based on individual skill and aptitude. Someone is great at machine maintenance, someone else is lightning fast at loading materials. Step 3, this natural sorting results in specialization. And finally, Step 4, that specialization leads to a massive boost in the efficiency of the variable factor itself. They aren't getting in each other's way, they're actually amplifying each other's strengths.
So the crucial point is understanding how a business leader should react to this. A rational producer would actually never want to stop operating in stage 1. Now, I know that might sound a bit counterintuitive. Stage 1 is where you have increasing returns. Why wouldn't you want to stay there? Well, because the average product of your variable factor is increasing throughout this entire stage. If you stop hiring and stop expanding before stage 1 ends, it means you're literally leaving money on the table. You are not taking full advantage of the constantly rising productivity of your workers. A rational producer keeps hiring to intentionally exit stage 1, aiming for that sweet spot of stage 2 where profits are truly maximized, right before diminishing returns eventually kick in.
As we wrap up the explainer today, I want to leave you with a question to help apply these economic laws to your own world. Think about your own life, your team, or your small business. You have fixed factors. Maybe it's software subscriptions, office space, or even just the hours in a day. And you have variable factors, your energy, your team's focus. So how could consciously dividing tasks by aptitude and ensuring you are fully utilizing the fixed factors you already possess completely transform your daily productivity? Are you stuck as one worker trying to run 4 machines? Sometimes finding that next level of output isn't about buying more machines, it's simply about optimizing the brilliant combination of the resources you already have. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep looking for those increasing returns.